Hey there, I want to talk to you about something that I think you should do, and I think it's a good idea for kind of helping you to make sure that you get the things you really need and not the things you don't need. And early on, when I had no money to buy a guitar pick, let alone a guitar, I started making wish lists. And at first, it was a little discouraging as you make this long list of things you want and need, whether it be some amps or guitars, pedals, it could be basses, good. I'm talking to everybody here, keyboard players, it could be software, it could be a new computer. It's pretty discouraging when you see this long list laid out before you of things you need. But what I would do is I would lay it out, I would put the prices there, street prices or whatever. I could guesstimate what it's going to cost me. I might prioritize the list. Originally, it was all handwritten. I didn't even have computer software or anything like that where I could put things in a certain order or separate them into categories, in a software program like Excel or numbers on the Mac. But one of the things that happened, what I would do is I would look at where my income was coming from, and maybe gigs, classical gigs like weddings, or maybe like band gigs, or writing things or session stuff or whatever, and I might direct my priorities towards the thing that was generating the most revenue. Or if I felt like that because something was missing in this area, that I needed to supplement it with some gear, whether I needed a better amp system, an amplifier, or maybe I was doing some recording, I need better mics. And so therefore, if I wanted to step my recording game up, I'd get a better microphone for my acoustic guitars. That kind of thing. A couple things would happen. Eventually, I'd start to knock these things off my list. The other thing that was actually more common is that I would take the things off my list because I'm like, yeah, I don't really want that anymore. Or I've played a few of those and I don't like them. I don't think I'll ever use it. And so when you start putting these wish lists together, originally they're kind of discouraging, but eventually what happens is it kind of becomes encouraging because you go, I found a wish list, for example, that I'd done a long time ago, and I realized everything on there I had now, which was encouraging, or anything I realized I didn't need, I didn't get. And there are many times where I bought something I thought I really need this, and I never used it, or I used it once or twice. I've got some guitars that I bought that I really thought, okay, I need this guitar so bad, and I never used it. And I know you're all in that place too. You've all been there. Boy, if you've got some tips, I would love some tips on that. How do you not pull the wallet out and make that bad decision? I try to do as much research as I can on these things. I try to play them as much as I can. Sometimes the guitar stores are pretty upset with me when I come in for the 5th time and play guitar. If it's something that I feel like is a good deal, that's a separate issue. Sometimes things that aren't even on the list will get bought because I've got money set on the side now for any time I see a really good deal or something that I've been wanting to get for a long time or whatever. Like my Martin that I use all the time was just hanging there at Guitar Center. The poor thing was beat up, it was abused, it had all sorts of issues on it, but it was $1,100 for a Martin, and I didn't have a Martin. And I picked it up and it sounded great. I was like, okay, this is ugly, it's been abused, it's battered, but I love this guitar and I use it all the time. And my guitar tech, Norik Renson at the time, did a lot of work on it and got it up to speed, and I use it all the time in the studio. And so, that's when it's great to have some money just set aside. Don't let that money burn a hole in your pocket. Leave it set aside for specific opportunities when you go. You never know when you're going to walk into the guitar store. I did it another time with a Collins, and I wish I had pulled the trigger on it, but I didn't. I went home and I got online, did some research. I went back and the guy was walking out with it literally 2 hours later. I should have bought it at that moment. Another one that I wish I had bought that I didn't was but there was a period of time where I kept running into things that were $300, and that was my I would throw down the credit card for $300, something, anything. I bought my lap steel, my Fender lap steel that I use all the time, for $300. It's a 40s Fender lap steel. You can't go wrong. I mean, it was a great deal. Now they're about $1,500. So that was one of them. I just saw it. I said, boom, I'll take it. Another one though, at that same store, I saw a Weisenborn for $300. And I was like, what is this thing? I didn't even know what it was. I'd never seen one before, but you know, I was always looking for instruments, and we're going to talk about this too. I was always looking for instruments that I didn't have, something that I didn't have that I could add to my arsenal, particularly for movies and for TV shows, for sessions where I can go, oh, here's another instrument I don't have. Oh, I can add this to the track and it'll add something new. And in a union gig, you know, when you add another different kind of instrument, like a mandolin or a Weissenborn, you're adding another double to your scale, so you're getting more money for every instrument you add to your arsenal or to that session. So it's always advantageous to have another instrument. So I saw this thing and I went, what the heck is it? I went home. I didn't really have any way to do any research, but I thought, you know what? I should go back and get that thing. I went back the same day to the guitar store and it was gone. So you know, now when I see something that's like that, very rarely is there anything out there that I want for $300, but anytime I see something like that, I jump on it, because now it's like, okay, I need to have one of these. And so, you know, that's where it's nice to have some money on the side. That's separate from your wish list. But make a wish list, start knocking these things off, categorize them into different categories. If you're looking to get into session work, you know, you may need a bunch of different instruments. If you're looking to do more solo work where you're performing in front of people, you may need to get a really high-end instrument. If you're looking to do more recording or producing, you might need to get some decent mics and mic pre's and software and things like that. So you can prioritize that, and then when you get some money, you can go, okay, I'm gonna invest in this. And you know, I need to do another video about talking about taxes. I don't want to get in trouble there, but there's definitely advantages to being self-employed, and there's disadvantages as well. But you know, purchasing equipment, that's definitely something you can write off. So anyway, God bless you. Have fun. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.